put our hands together for a great panel. Thank you, guys.
No, this is great, and thanks everyone for joining us. I'm a huge fan of FinTech ecosystems. I think I joined the Banking and Payment Federation in Ireland back in 2017, which seems like a long time ago for me. I'm currently sitting in the office of Rocket in Vilnius, which is the home of their kind of e-money association in Lithuania. So I love hearing about FinTech ecosystems, seeing all the different types. Some people work closely with the banks. I've met an association who kicked out all the banks. Some people are close to the FinTech, some people aren't close to the FinTech. So I love hearing about all the different types of ecosystems in Europe and how they operate independently and with other FinTech associations. I think it's a really fascinating topic for me. But enough about my thoughts. Now let's hear from the people who live and breathe this stuff, right? So my first question to everyone is, how would each of you describe the FinTech ecosystem that you work in and what makes it unique? Rostislav, if you could start stuff.
Okay, it will be a little bit, at this time, little bit different description that I normally say about Ukrainian FinTech. So first of all, I want to thank organizers for having all us here, and many thanks to not having Russians. So why our ecosystem is unique? Our mission is explain what's Russian terrorism have to do just now, what they doing in Ukraine. Sorry maybe for this little bit politic things, but it's important because if I'm not come here for this conference, maybe I will not be alive because Russian drones bombed my flat in Kiev, not last, but 2 days ago when we was traveling here. So this is an example in which environment we build the ecosystem, okay? So Ukraine ecosystem, if we take this question of 4 out, is a pretty young ecosystem in Europe, but we grow very exponential because of 2 things. First of all, we need to be in Europe. Second, we want to be better than Russians because Ukrainians have more mathematics, they do products. Russians have more physics, they do bombs, but sometimes they miss the target. Okay, so Ukrainian ecosystem, it's a little bit different than other countries have because our financial sector was previously pretty banking and no space for non-banking institutions. So FinTech start to do this non-banking things in Ukraine, and it's helped to diversify the share of the market from 0 to, I don't know, 40% in some space. And it gives chance to space for collaboration with other countries because Ukrainian FinTech and tech ecosystem are very open, and we believe that leverage this for rebuilding after the war will help with all of you who want to come with your products to Ukraine to help to rebuild the digital infrastructure and help to integrate it in Europe. So I think this is like small snapshot how Ukrainian ecosystem looks like.
1, 2. So in Moldova, we obviously not in Ukraine's situation, not even close, but we are the next country. So that's also impacting our ecosystem in a big way. Right now, we are in our path to European integration. So a lot of industries in Moldova are adapting themselves to the future of European Moldova, and the financial sector is one of them. So a lot of the changes and the progress in the financial sector in Moldova, and FinTech ecosystem, obviously, it's related to the regulatory part of the European Union in that regard. So we are working on the open banking integration, which is being implemented now. We have a member of the National Bank here who is responsible for open banking also. So if you want to talk to her, you can find her around the castle. But mostly, yes, since the war, since the pandemic, we are trying to align ourselves with the European path. We try to integrate as much as possible regulatory innovation, but also technological innovation from abroad. So we're also in a fortunate position to be between the East and the West. so we can learn from the West, the European Union, the US, and so on. But we also have a relationship with the post-Soviet space, such as Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and countries from that side. So we are in the middle, and we are trying to kind of capitalize on that position that we are in.
Okay, well.
Thanks. It's a great pleasure to be here. First of all, I have a long plan to visit on-chain, and I'm very happy that this year I was able to manage it. In Hungary, we have, I would use that our fintech system or ecosystem is quite small compared to the size of the banking sector, generally speaking. However, it has a lot of potential. I call it small but sexy or something like this, meaning that there is a lot of players who could really have good traction, but for instance, we are still missing not only in the fintech ecosystem, but also in the whole startup ecosystem, a real unicorn, which, for instance, Romania already have with the UiPath at least. So it's, I think that will be it could have a quite big impact when we reach this level. Mainly it's around 200 fintechs in Hungary. Some of them is branches of large players, like for instance Wise. They have a quite big development center in Hungary, and it could have a good collaborative impact to the whole ecosystem, because you know, a lot of people who you already worked for a large fintech company, they can start a new business, and it could boost up the whole ecosystem. However, currently the fintechs in Hungary are mainly focusing on B2B businesses, so it's not B2C. It's mainly business-to-business developments. You know, software engineers, a lot of payment providers. You can also system integrators. You can find some of this here. So yeah, in a nutshell, why we strongly believe these kind of festivals and, generally speaking, international cooperations is that we really strongly believe that the potential in this whole region is very strong, but it's currently underdeveloped. And yeah, I think this is a time where it could really boost up.
Thank you. Some words about the Bulgarian FinTech Association. Actually, the Bulgarian FinTech Association was created 8 years ago. Currently, at about 85 companies are members of the Bulgarian FinTech Association. More than 11,000 people are working in the FinTech industry. And the FinTech is a substantial part of Bulgarian IT sector, which contributes something like 10% of the GDP of the economy in Bulgaria. Most of the companies are working in the area of payments, RegTech, lending. What we managed to create during the years is to establish a good relations with the local regulators, to work very close with the university. Currently, there are 3 universities in which you can have a master's degree in FinTech or in related areas. And what we see is that the number of students which have interest to study in these directions are growing each year. So this is something in short, as a short info about the Bulgarian FinTech Association. Thank you.
Hi. First of all, I want to thank the audience. It was a tough night last night, so thank you for showing up. Secondly, Sean, this is the time. This is our time, 10 minutes, because if it is, I'm going to be extra brief. I suppose that for all of you being in Romania, you all know the Romanian FinTech Association already. And I'm just trying to say some, I'll just say some short numbers. So we are a new association, rather a young association. We have 25 members and 11 supporting partners. These are our 2 segments. The members need to be a fintech company with a proprietary solution and at least 1 Romanian founder. The supporting partners come from of course, from the ecosystem, the banks, the consulting companies, IT companies. What we have unique, I believe, are our users, our Romanian citizens that love digital products. And as far we have 2.5 million users for ghișeul.ro, which is the platform where we pay our taxes. We have, just in a year, 500,000 new users for our neobank, Salt, and the biggest market in Europe for Revolut with more than 4 million users. So we have a great potential here. We need to top up and come with the developments and with new fintechs, which I'm going to tell you more in our next question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 5 fintech associations with a lot of differences in how they operate, right? One thing I've kind of noticed is with bigger countries, so there's UK, Germany, France. The fintech ecosystems are quite contained because their kind of home market is almost big enough to support the fintech up until Series A, Series B. But smaller countries, I guess, need to get out of their local market faster, especially obviously fintechs. So I suppose my next question is, are there any ways that your organizations could work, are currently kind of overlapping in how you kind of operate? I mean, does one fintech association coordinate with the others? And if not, how do you see that kind of working in the future? How can you better work together, all the fintech region, all the fintech associations in this region?
Okay, I'll try to be fast this time. So the main things that we have problem in the beginning, it was explain banks that we are not competitor. It changed their mindset that they need to cooperate with fintechs to grow faster and onboard innovation faster. So I think this local question has a big impact in all other countries because you also have banks, you also have fintechs, and sometimes this question is competition or co-opetition is like different in different countries, and it's the same question. We jointly can better change the mind that fintech is like future of finance and you need to cooperate, and especially in open banking world. So this is first. Second one, we see the potential of building the network of cooperation of different fintech ecosystem around Europe to helping our members to enter the other markets. Because being in fintech association local is a faster way to go to another market to expand your product. Because you have the right connection, you know the right people, and it's help a lot to do the global strategy. Because fintech is like global things. We speak two languages, English and Python, yes, so it should be global, yeah.
For us, it's obviously very important the collaboration with different associations from the world. We have a lot of connections in Europe, for sure. We obviously are independent in our activities, but we don't need to coordinate or anything. But for example, if we have the conference on October the 3rd this year, we want to make sure that nobody else has it in the same day. So it makes sense to kind of talk to people and see, hey, what are you planning for the next month? What are you planning for the next year? To see if there is any way that we can kind of contribute to each other's activities and projects. I have to say that the first ecosystem leader that I've met, it was Rostislav actually in around 2019. And his friendliness and his openness and open approach to support me with introductions, to come to my first event, etc. It helped me a lot and encouraged me a lot to continue the journey. So just the openness of the ecosystem is very important to everybody who's trying to build something in this space. And I think that without an ecosystem of ecosystems, to call it this way, it would not be as successful as it is right now.
Well, as I mentioned before, we strongly believe in cooperation. So this is why we try to also organize similar events. For instance, last year we had the FinTech Week in Budapest, and we have the plan to organize it again. And we strongly believe that due to the fact that the whole FinTech market is very big globally, but also within the EU or within Europe is quite big. So therefore, there is room for everyone in a sense. So it's absolutely, we are pro-cooperative players. On the other side, what could be interesting in Hungary that we have quite strong banking system, and it's also a question how we can cooperate with them. I mean, generally speaking, the associations, and also how the fintechs can cooperate with larger players like banks or more incumbent market participants. In the past, I used to be a central banker, so as a regulator, I worked at the dark side or the bright side. It depends how you look at it. Anyway, what we see there is that some of the banks already launched some fintech incubators or some cooperation with fintechs. But what was quite problematic is that mainly they try to focus on the CSR part of it. So it's not real cooperations, not real use cases. It's more like it was trendy, it was good that they are cooperating with fintechs, but there are lack of real implemented solutions. And now we can see a trend where it's really changing because of some of them is driven by the regulators or the legislation. Just consider MiCA or just consider pilot DLT regime regulation or the EMIs and so on and so forth. And some of them is really that they're currently understanding that the real B2C fintechs are real. It could be challenging for them. Revolut has been mentioned, but a lot of other neobanks are there. So now maybe this cooperation between the incumbents and the B2B fintechs could be even stronger than before.
For me, it's collaboration and cooperation. What are the words that could define the relations that we have to develop among the different kind of associations here? Because on each market there is some specific knowledge which could be useful and to contribute to the development of the ecosystems in the different countries. I think we already have established such kind of good relations, for instance, with the Romanian FinTech Association. We are together a member of the European Digital Financial Association. With the colleagues from the open banking industry here in Romania, we are part of Romanian Open Banking Group organization. So we already have started our way in this journey to support each other, to exchange ideas, to go together in the way that we follow. But we still have a lot of things that we can do together to become more effective. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all about collaboration, as my colleague said. This is what we always say to the banks, that we are not competitors. And then Revolut came. So I don't know what to say about competition anymore. It depends. What I can say is that the Romanian FinTech Association is also an EDFA, European Digital Finance Association member. There we are trying to work together with other FinTech association. Our colleague Ana Maria Georgescu, present here, is representing us. And we have very important topics. One of the most important topic, I believe now, it is FIDA, because we are moving from PSD2, which helped the financial ecosystem to actually exist, fintechs to exist actually and grow in Europe. We are moving to open finance, which is a whole new level. But for this, we really need to actually work together and push it forward, because it's not the most appreciated initiative between incumbent players, to say so. Thank you.
No, that's brilliant. Just to hear about all the cooperation between the countries here. It's fantastic. I mean, I'm from Ireland, and I think we have 3 different associations within the country, and I don't think they cooperate as much as you guys. So that's nice to hear. We are running short on time, so I'm gonna go to my last question. Nobody's perfect. So if you could change one thing about your ecosystem, what would it be, boy?
Good question. So I think in our situation, the main thing that I want to change is the speed of making decision and speed of change everything. So we need to do something very fast. So this is like our reality, and if I want to change something, that we could move more faster than we're doing it now.
In our case, I think it would be the mindset. I think that finance in general, it's a scary topic to a lot of people, so they're kind of hesitating to start anything in finance. They're afraid of the money in general is a scary topic in Moldova. People are afraid to lose it, and we're quite averse to risk. and we don't like to deal with regulators and rules and stuff like that. So people who are not already in finance are more or less hesitant to get in the fintech space because of this.
Basically, I agree with that. So in our case, it's the same, that the mindset should be changed. For instance, if you discuss this issue with the best talents at the universities, they don't want to be an entrepreneur. Of course, there are outliers, but the vast majority of them don't want to be an entrepreneur or a startup or something like this. More like, you know, large corporate, they have the right, nice path and all of this stuff. And for instance, in the US, the other way around, the best talents want to be an entrepreneur, want to build something new. So this is exactly what probably there is a room for improvement that's changing this mindset. And we see also in the distribution of the fintechs, for instance, in Hungary, that some large players or middle-sized players are there, but the mass is really missing somehow. So there are some startups, fintechs, which are smaller, but it's not so the amount is still not enough. So mindset change, this is the most important now.
Personally, I do not believe in revolution. I prefer the evolution. So I don't want to change anything from today to tomorrow. My belief is that we have to work more and more and to grow a sustainable ecosystem that has a good interaction between the different ecosystems, between all stakeholders that have relations with the financial ecosystem. Nothing should be changed. We should continue work harder and harder. That's it. This is my understanding.
I would stop the KPIs for at least 5 years. I would erase the KPIs. Yeah. Why? Because when we're talking about collaboration between fintechs and incumbent players, we're usually speaking two languages, unfortunately. Fintechs are speaking about innovation, and the incumbent players are speaking about KPIs, about profit. So we need to find a common language because we actually need each other, as it was stated before. So 5 years without KPIs, I would love to see where it goes with the collaboration between fintechs and incumbent players.
Gentlemen, that was brilliant. It was really an honor to share a stage with everyone who is so passionate about their local ecosystems, and you know, it feels like you know, the fintech industry is in the right hands. So well done. Thank you everyone for listening, and please give these guys a round of applause. I think that's it.